Agriculture is a one Nebraska primary economic activities, account for 18% of envelope and 22% of state GDP. Nebraska is the 15th largest agriculture production and states in the United States, and the main products are beef, grain corn, soybeans, hogs, and wheat. Beef in Nebraska, most important agricultural product, account for of the state agriculture income. Nebraska is the third largest pork producing state in the United States and the fourth largest beef producer. Nebraska main industry enveloped than the people and the generates for more 10 billion in new age year. The next product is grain corn. Is Nebraska's second most important agricultural product, account for of the state agricultural income. Nebraska is the second largest corn production state in the United States, producer for 200 million bushels of corn each year. Corn is used for animal feed, the manufacture of the ethanol, and the production of another industrial products. The product number three, soybeans, are Nebraska third most important agricultural producer, according for one ten percent of the state agriculture income. Nebraska is the fourth largest soybean producing state in the United States, producing for more than 3 million bushels of beans each year. Other industrial products. The next product, hogs, are Nebraska is fourth largest agriculture, according for 10% of the state's agricultural income. Nebraska is the third largest and the hog producing state, as population of the more than the 10 million hogs. Nebraska is pork industry employs more than 15 millions, and the generates more than 5 billion in the renewable each year. Okay, the factors contribute the success of agriculture in Nebraska. There are the number of factors that contribute to the success of the agriculture in Nebraska. These factors include the number one, Nebraska temperature, climate, and fertilized land provide ideal conditions for agriculture. The number two, low production costs making farming profitable in Nebraska. The number three, the availability of skilled labor is important for agriculture. The number four, transportation infrastructure allows firms to transport their products to markets. And finally, the future in agriculture in Nebraska. And finally, slide, some of the challenge faced agriculture in Nebraska include climate change is causing more extreme weather conditions, which can affect agriculture production. The number two, competition from the another countries is reducing the price of agricultural products. And despite this challenge, agriculture will continue to be an important economic activity in the Nebraska in the future.
Well, I'm going to talk about the business structure in Nebraska. Basically, the following that I am going to the name are the companies or corporations that are managed throughout the United States and that can be applied to the chosen sector, which is agriculture, as well as any other. First, I am going to name the general considerations to take into account when creating a business in Nebraska. First, citizenship resident requirements, U.S. citizenship permanent residency, also known as a green card or card of work. Second, formation teaming and disclosure requirements. In this article, I will talk about 5 rules of regulations that Nebraska has to do for their creation of business entities. Name for your company in Nebraska, the names and the address of the office and directors, location of the company, shows a registered agent, submit the bylaws, creates an operating agreement, and obtain an AIN number and as the Association Security number for your business. Third, cost of formation. First, fillings, fees, states of formation, the fees shared by a jurisdiction for the filing and acceptance of a business entity formed in that jurisdiction. Filing fees and other states, the cost where the entity conducts business activities in other states, and registered as agent fees. The registered agent's role is to accept the service of legal process, such as lawsuits and other legal documents, on behalf of the business in the states. The first is a corporation. A corporation is an entirely separate and distinct business entity for its owners, whose ownership is represented by shares of stocks in the corporation. Hence, they are also known as stockholders or shareholders. Basically, it is necessary shows a name for your company, file the company's bylaws, appoint the company administrators, holds a company organization meeting, obtain a federal employee identification number and necessary license. Here is a summary of the steps to follow to from a corporation in Nebraska. There are 2 types of corporation, C Corp and S Corp. In C Corp is a legal entity separate from its owners and is subject to the separate taxes from its owners. And S Corp to be taxed as an S corporation by the IRS. The second or third is general partnership. The general partnership is a business entity managed and operated by at least 2 people, the partners, whom contribute money, property, labor of skill, and expect to share the profits and losses of the business. There is no filing requirement in most states to form a general partnership. An limited partnership consists of one or more general partners with unlimited liability who manage two business and one or more limited partners with a limited liability who do not play an active role in the management of the business and have no authority to bind the partnership in entering in contracts. The filing of a certificate of limited partnership with the appropriate state authority. In both states, the partnership passes through and profits on loss to its partners. The fourth is Limited Liability Company LLC. Is a business structure combining structural elements of a corporation with the tax benefits of a partnership. Rules and regulations pertaining to LLCs vary by state. In Nebraska, owners of a LLC are called members whose ownership of the LLC is represented by their holding of a certain percent of membership interest or a certain number of membership units. Like corporation, members of LLC are not personality personally viable of the LLC obligation, debits, or liabilities. Foreign companies that cannot meet these requirements themselves must appoint a registered agent. LLC money comprise a single member of multiple members. Annual reports and tax declaration. The last type of business structure is branch office. A branch office is a station of the foreign company that conducts business directly in the United States and does not have its separate legal entities from the foreign company. The foreign company will need to be registered as a foreign corporation. The states where business will be conducted through the branch office. Just like corporation or company already named, you need to pay taxes, pay your employees, comply with the laws and regulations for the business in Nebraska. It is necessary to appoint a registered agent at tax admits in the United States who can operate, open bank account, etc. In conclusion, the choice of structure for a particular business depends on many factors. This chapter touches briefly on a few important factors to consider and thus not discuss as the factors that may be relevant, such as immigration laws, tax planning consideration, and tax implications for the foreign investors in their home countries. Foreign investors are strongly encouraged to consult with the legal, financial, and tax consultants in both the United States and their home countries to choose a business structure that best suits their business needs.
I explained about the term manufacturing, specifically in the state Nebraska, and the sector that I chosen is agriculture. I first explained but why the agriculture in Nebraska. Nebraska is the important state in the USA because represents the 16th state more longer in the USA. This aspect is important because Nebraska represents some 20 million hectares specifically. This aspect represents the 92% respectively the territory. This aspect is important because Nebraska dedicate this is percent in only agriculture, ganadery, in the aspect relational, specifically in the sectors. Other aspect is Nebraska is organic agriculture because enormous expand of pasture endless growth of pivot million a hits caster. Nebraska is the dedicate entirely agriculture and live crops and produce specifically aspects that sensitive to sustainable and almost respect for the environment natural resources. I talk about the agriculture, machinery and equipment. This is a slide talk about aspects important because in Nebraska it's common that the leases or rental of the perishable agriculture machinery and equipment this is products are exempt the tax in Nebraska. This is especially important because in the image I showed about the 413. I explained this 413 is used that the farmer or business in the peoples talk about the perishable agriculture. I explained 3 points about the for 13. The first point is listeners keep the complete former 13 with their box and records. The second point is the perishable repairs must be listed on personal property return. This is aspect is important because the for 13 mentioned about the others buys because the person have pay sorry and the other and other person the costs because the the product. The third point I talk about the aspects because the repair or replanted parts include antifreeze, batteries, spark. This aspect is mentioned in the for 13 in business in the formers. Okay. The next slide is about you employee in Nebraska. This aspect is important because in Nebraska, excited the association called users. This is aspect because the users there are nearly 2.6 million associates. This is associates represent the employing to 20 million people in sector as diverse as almond and sunny beans. This species is important because mentioned the agriculture with the import because this is products export to the European Union and the United Kingdom worth more than $7 billion. The I showed about you. I imagine down. I should talk about different sectors the employing in Nebraska. And the first, I imagine the app. I should talk about the growing in employing specifically the agriculture and manufacturing because this is aspects so related because the manufacturing actually have an important aspect and complement to agriculture. The next slide, I talk about specifically the cropland rentland rates. This is aspects is the cash rental rates on overage rent down across Nebraska in specifically in 2019 specifically. This is mentioned about the prior year and the high and low tier quality rate average. This is table talk about specifically the rental rates for dryland and irrigated cropland across Nebraska, trading down across the majority of Nebraska. This decline ranged from about 2 to 8%, with the exception of several small increases in dryland center pivot. Other aspects is the productivity of the cropland, including soil types or degree of life, speed, rainfall, and location, and influence the competitiveness of rents paid in an area. According to the panel members, this difference be straight provide the rents and average paid in cost rent. Okay, this is some important in the table. The next slide, I talk about specifically the Nebraska producer increase in numbers. Specific attention because that the data from the USDA Census of Agriculture, the number of producers is the 706 sorry 70,678 to 78,015 between 2002 and 2017. This aspect they represent a different 10% bump because the maps respectively that is the image in the slide represent the percentage changes in producer numbers is in each country between 2002 and 2017. 70 countries had fewer producer in 2017, sorry, compared to 2002, with strong country having the biggest loss down specifically 21%. In contrast, 76 countries had more produced in 2017. Let be goes per country with a growth of 66% specifically. The other slide I talk about specifically that the change in these producer numbers in the dates I mentioned, specifically in the slide previously. Okay. In this aspect specifically, I talk about Okay, in the the growing number of persons involved in production agriculture is definitely positive because in the market value agriculture in Nebraska, I talk about the different dates. The growth appears to be fueled by part-time producer involved in large conventional operation or extremely small operation. These aspects talk about the compare disease factors, and this is represent in Nebraska very positive, and this is a great apport in the GDP the USA.
I will talk about isolation. According to this article saying there are four topics of the topic: plan, research, model costs, and tour size. A plan corporate the strategy for an agricultural business in Nebraska. The business of agriculture in Nebraska is a major industry accounting for 10% of the state GDP. The state is a national leader in the production of soybeans, corn, and livestock. A corporate strategy for Nebraska agriculture business could focus on the following objectives: grow. The company could see organic or inorganic growth through the expansion of its operation, the acquisition of the of other companies, or the entry into the new markets. Efficient. The company could see to improve its operational efficiency, reducing costs and increasing productivity. And innovation, the company could invest in research and development to develop new products and services. And second purpose of the installation, the purpose of setting up agricultural business in Nebraska must also be clearly defined. In this case, Nebraska to access markets. The company could be located in Nebraska to access new market, choose as the as market in general of the regional market of the Midwestern states. Cost reduction, the company could locate in Nebraska to reduce costs, choose as labor costs and transportation costs. Improving efficiency, the company could locate in Nebraska to improve its operational efficiency, choose as access to qualified workforce and proximity to suppliers. And plan and advice, and some could to create a successful agriculture business in Nebraska is important to get advice from experts in the field of agriculture and business. The experts, for example, the Federal Agricultural Agencies offers a variety of resources to help agricultural business, including financial assistance, training and advice. In the Nebraska Agricultural Development Office, the state organization that provides assistance to agricultural business, and University and College, Nebraska University and College offering training and mentoring program for entrepreneurs. In the part of research, and the reason why Nebraska is a good place for agriculture, has a temperate continental climate with warm summers and cool winters. It has fertile soils, which facilitates the growth of crops. In the part of cost, agricultural production costs in Nebraska are relatively low, making it more profitable to produce agricultural products in the state. Human resource, Nebraska has a qualified and able workforce, and agriculture and infrastructure. Nebraska has well-developed infrastructure including roads, railroads, and ports which facilitate the transportation of agricultural products. In the model cost, Nebraska population is relatively well prepared for agriculture. The state has a long history of agriculture and a strong agricultural culture. Um, Most residents of the state have some knowledge of agriculture. These are numerous factors that contribute to the readiness of Nebraska for agriculture. These factors include education, experts, and culture. And the state is a national leader in soybean, corn, and livestock. The state offers a variety of economic and educational opportunities. It is a diverse state with a growing population. Finally, you can see an example applied to the to the topic. in this case, I talk about the conclusions about this project. The project is to develop an efficient and sustainable drip irrigation system for Nebraska farmers. In this case, we create different objectives, adjectives, and what is the time and budget, and the implementation and evaluation. So in this case, like, the conclusion of this project is the project to development an efficient and sustainable drip irrigation system for Nebraska farmers has a potential to contribute to the state economic, protect the environment, and improve the quality of life of farmers. And for the project to be successful, it's important that it has the participation of variety of actors, including farmers, research, station workers, public officials, and community members. It's also important that the project is well planned and financed.